Across the scorched highways of distant war zones and the frozen arteries of American defense networks, they roll. Indestructible, agile, powerful, versatile. Some are built to survive blasts that would vaporize anything else. Others race across terrain where roads don't exist. Giants haul the weight of entire operations. Swift guardians adapt to every threat. Efficient titans move missions in minutes. And when they come together, they become something more. An unstoppable force that refuses to break, refuses to slow, refuses to fail. This is the story of America's armored convoys, the steel giants that carry power, deliver survival, and never back down. But before we meet the entire family, let's start with the one that changed everything. The truck that proved survival wasn't luck. It was design. MRAP, the bomb-proof behemoth. It weighs as much as 3 SUVs, stands taller than most garages, and it was born from necessity, from the brutal reality of roadside bombs tearing through convoys in Iraq and Afghanistan. This is the MRAP, the mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicle, a machine designed to do one thing better than anything else on Earth: survive the blast. Picture this: a hidden explosive detonates beneath the chassis. The force, enough to flip a Humvee and kill everyone inside, erupts upward. But the MRAP doesn't crumble. Its V-shaped hull deflects the blast outward, away from the crew. The armored capsule absorbs the shockwave. Inside, soldiers feel the violent jolt, the ringing in their ears, but they're alive. The truck keeps moving. Developed rapidly in the mid-2000s, the MRAP became the answer to an enemy that couldn't be seen. Insurgents buried IEDs along dusty roads, turning every mile into a gamble. Standard vehicles couldn't handle it. So engineers went back to the drawing board. Not to make trucks faster or sleeker, but to make them indestructible. Thick steel plating, reinforced floors, blast-resistant seats that absorb impact, windows made of layered bulletproof glass capable of stopping armor-piercing rounds. Over 27,000 MRAPs were built. They rolled through Fallujah, Kandahar, and Helmand Province. They became symbols, not of aggression, but of protection. Soldiers trusted them. Families back home knew their loved ones had a better chance because of them. But the MRAP isn't just armor. It's a statement, a declaration that American forces will adapt, will innovate, and will do whatever it takes to bring their people home. It's heavy, it's slow, it's expensive, and it's saved thousands of lives. In the history of military vehicles, few have mattered more. Protection saved lives, but protection alone wasn't enough. The battlefield demanded something new, something that could survive the blast and outrun the threat. JLTV, the next-gen warrior. The Humvee ruled the battlefield for decades, but by the 2000s, it was clear. The world had changed, threats evolved, enemies adapted, and the old workhorse couldn't keep up. Enter the JLTV, the Joint Light Tactical Vehicle, faster than an MRAP, tougher than a Humvee. Built for the wars of tomorrow, it looks aggressive. Angular armor plating wraps around the crew like a second skin. The hood slopes sharply, designed to deflect blasts and bullets. But what sets the JLTV apart isn't just what you see. It's what you feel when it moves. This truck doesn't lumber, it prowls. Underneath, an advanced independent suspension system does something remarkable. It absorbs punishment that would shatter axles on lesser vehicles. Hit a crater at 60 miles per hour? The JLTV smooths it out. Navigate rocky Afghan highlands? It grips and climbs. The TAC-4i suspension system gives it 20 inches of wheel travel. Yeah, meaning each tire can rise or drop independently, keeping the chassis stable no matter the terrain. Oshkosh Defense won the contract in 2015 after a brutal competition. The military wanted one vehicle that could replace multiple platforms, light enough to deploy quickly, heavy enough to protect against IEDs, small arms, and shrapnel. The JLTV delivered. Modular armor means crews can add or remove protection based on the mission. Going fast and light, strip it down. Entering hostile territory, bolt on extra plates. Inside, soldiers sit higher, surrounded by blast-resistant materials. The engine, 6-liter turbo diesel, pushes over 400 horsepower. Top speed? North of 70 miles per hour. That's not just movement, that's escape velocity. Tens of thousands now serve across Army and Marine units. They've rolled through Syrian deserts, Eastern European training grounds, and Pacific Island chains. The JLTV isn't just a vehicle, it's a generational leap, a promise that American forces will always have the edge. Speed, protection, adaptability, all in one package. Speed and agility win firefights. But wars aren't fought on adrenaline alone. They run on fuel, supplies, and the giants that haul them across continents. HEMTT, the heavy hauler. Wars aren't won by bullets alone. They're won by fuel, by water, by ammunition crates stacked high and supply lines that never break. And when the USC military needs to move massive loads across impossible terrain, they call in the HEMTT, the Heavy Expanded Mobility Tactical Truck, the unsung giant that keeps everything running. 8 wheels, all driven, all the time. This 10-ton beast doesn't ask for paved roads. It creates its own path, through mud, through sand, through snow that would trap anything lighter. The HEMTT is a workhorse built on a simple philosophy. If it needs to get there, we'll get it there. Oshkosh Defense designed it in the 1980s, but it's been upgraded relentlessly ever since. The cab sits high, giving drivers a commanding view of the battlefield. Behind it, the cargo bed, or tanker or wrecker, depending on the variant, can haul up to 10 tons of equipment. That's the weight of 7 cars, or 2,500 gallons of fuel, or enough ammunition to sustain a forward operating base for days. In Desert Storm, HEMTTs rolled across Iraqi deserts and delivering fuel to advancing tank columns. In Afghanistan, they climbed mountain passes that seemed impossible, resupplying remote outposts under the cover of darkness. Soldiers don't talk about them the way they talk about fighter jets or tanks. But ask any logistics officer and they'll tell you the truth. Without the HEMTT, nothing else moves. It's not flashy. It doesn't carry weapons. But it carries everything that makes weapons work. And in the chaos of war, reliability isn't just valuable. It's survival. The HEMTT doesn't fight battles. It wins them. One delivery at a time. One mission after another. Silent, steady, unstoppable. Because power isn't just about firepower. It's about keeping that fire burning no matter what. The HEMTT moves mountains, but not every mission needs a giant. Sometimes you need something lighter, smarter, something that can do 1,000 jobs without breaking a sweat. FMTV, the logistics lifeline. If the HEMTT is the heavy hitter, the FMTV is the everywhere truck, the family of medium tactical vehicles. You'll find them on every base, in every theater, doing every job nobody else wants to do. Hauling water, moving troops, carrying generators, medical supplies, communications equipment. The FMTV doesn't specialize, it adapts. 2 main variants dominate the fleet. The LMTV, light-medium tactical vehicle, handles 2.5 tons. The MTV steps up to 5. Both share the same DNA, rugged, reliable, and endlessly configurable. Need a cargo hauler? Done. Troop transport? Swap the bed. Mobile command center? Add a shelter. The FMTV is a platform, not just a truck. What makes it exceptional is the engineering beneath the surface. A central tire inflation system allows drivers to adjust tire pressure on the move. Soft sand ahead? Lower the pressure for better traction. Hitting pavement? Pump them back up for speed and efficiency. It's a small detail that changes everything in the field. The cab over design, where the driver sits above the engine, gives it a tight turning radius. Navigating narrow city streets in Baghdad, the FMTV slips through. Maneuvering inside crowded forward operating bases, it pivots like something half its size. Built first by Stewart and Stevenson, later by BAE Systems, and now produced by Oshkosh, the FMTV has served for over 2 decades. Tens of thousands remain in active service. They don't make headlines. They don't inspire awe. But talk to the soldiers who depend on them, and you'll hear a different story. They call it the backbone. The truck that's always there when everything else breaks down. Not the fastest, not the toughest, but the most versatile, the most dependable, the most essential. Because in war, flexibility isn't a luxury, it's survival. And the FMTV delivers that, mission after mission, without fail. Versatility keeps armies running. But when the roads vanish and the terrain turns savage, you need more than adaptability. You need a machine that thrives where others fail. Oshkosh M-ATV, the all-terrain guardian. The MRAP saved lives, but it had a problem. It was heavy. Too heavy for Afghanistan's mountain roads, where narrow paths clung to cliffsides, and one wrong turn meant a 1,000-foot drop. The military needed MRAP-level protection in a lighter, more agile package. They needed the M-ATV, the MRAP all-terrain vehicle. the guardian that could go anywhere. Oshkosh delivered in 2009. The M-ATV weighs about 12 tons, significantly lighter than its MRAP cousins, but it doesn't sacrifice protection. The same V-shaped hull deflects blasts. The same reinforced crew capsule absorbs impacts. The same armor stops rifle rounds and shrapnel. What changed was mobility. That TAK-4 independent suspension, the same system powering the JLTV, transforms this truck into something extraordinary. 16 inches of wheel travel per tire. It crawls over boulders. It navigates switchbacks that would trap heavier vehicles. It climbs grades that seem impossible. Soldiers who drove standard MRAPs and then switched to the M-ATV describe it like upgrading from a tank to a sports car, still protected, just suddenly alive. In the rugged valleys of Helmand Province and the peaks of Kunar, the M-ATV proved itself. It reached remote outposts where resupply seemed impossible. It escorted convoys through ambush-prone terrain with the agility to react, to maneuver, to fight back. Special operations forces adopted it quickly. So did infantry units tired of being stuck in vehicles too heavy for the mission. Over 9,000 M-ATVs now serve worldwide. They patrol African deserts, Middle Eastern conflict zones, and training ranges across the United States. They represent a philosophy shift. Protection doesn't have to mean slow. Armor doesn't have to mean trapped. The M-ATV moves like it's angry, like it has somewhere to be and nothing will stop it. Fast, tough, relentless. Because sometimes survival isn't about sitting still and taking hits. It's about hitting back while staying one step ahead. The M-ATV conquers terrain. But conquering ground means nothing if you can't sustain it. Enter the machine that moves entire missions in minutes. PLS Truck, the cargo titan. Some trucks carry cargo. The PLS moves entire missions. The palletized load system. A machine that redefined what logistics could be. Forget loading supplies piece by piece. Forget wasting hours with forklifts and hand crews. The PLS does in minutes what used to take all day. Here's how it works. The truck backs up to a preloaded flatbed container, called a flat rack, 20 feet long, stacked with supplies, ammunition, water, or equipment. The hydraulic system at the rear activates. Arms extend. They hook onto the container. Then, smoothly, powerfully, the PLS lifts the entire load onto its chassis. 30 seconds, maybe less. The truck drives away. The empty flat rack stays behind, ready for the next load. It's brilliant in its simplicity. One truck can service multiple containers. Bases can pre-stage supplies on flat racks, and when the PLS arrives, it's a quick swap. No bottlenecks, no delays. Speed becomes a weapon. Oshkosh builds them on the same rugged platform as the HEMTT. Same 8-wheel drive system, same off-road capability. But the PLS specializes in one thing: moving mass quantities of material exactly when and where it's needed. In Desert Storm, they kept armored divisions supplied during the 100-hour ground war. In Iraq and Afghanistan, they sustained forward operating bases across hostile deserts. The military operates thousands of them. They're the invisible backbone of every major operation. When a base runs low on fuel, the PLS brings tanks full. When ammunition stocks dwindle, the PLS rolls in loaded with crates. When field kitchens need water, the PLS delivers pallets of bottled supplies. It doesn't look dramatic. It doesn't carry soldiers into battle. But without the PLS, battles don't happen. Armies stall. Missions fail. Logistics isn't glamorous, but it's everything. And the PLS proves that sometimes the most powerful weapon on the battlefield isn't a gun. It's the ability to deliver exactly what's needed, exactly when it matters most. Steel doesn't care about politics, it doesn't debate strategy or question orders, but it protects the ones who do. These trucks, these rolling fortresses, heavy haulers, and tireless workhorses, they're more than engineering marvels. They're promises made in metal and armor, promises that soldiers won't be abandoned, that supplies will arrive, that the mission will continue, no matter the cost. From the blast-deflecting hull of an MRAP to the hydraulic arms of a PLS, every bolt, every weld, every system serves one purpose: to bring people home, to keep America's reach long and its warriors protected. Wars are fought with courage, but they're won with logistics, innovation, and machines that refuse to quit. So the next time you see footage of a distant conflict, look closer. Behind every victory, every forward position, every soldier standing watch, there's a convoy rolling through the dust, indestructible, unstoppable. Because America's power isn't just in what it can destroy, it's in what it can deliver.